In this video, I am going to explain how to apply an image texture to a model on Blender. This can be used for wood, concrete, brick and metal. First thing we want to do is make sure that we have our model placed in position and has been separated by loose parts. We then want to select the part that we are going to apply the image texture to. And in this case, I'm going to start off with the shade and I'm going to make that concrete. So I'm going to click the material tab, the one that looks like a beach ball, and I'm going to cancel off the material that is already there. And then I'm going to select new to apply a new material to the shade. Next, I'm going to click the yellow dot that is beside base colour and I'm going to select image texture, and you can see that it's turned the shade to black. I'm going to select open, which is underneath image texture, and I'm going to find the image of the concrete that I have saved and press open image. And you can see here that it has wrapped the image around the shade. Now, it doesn't always wrap cleanly, so instead we're going to kind of unwrap it just to make sure that it has wrapped itself around all parts of the shade. So to do that, we are going to press Tab on our keyboard. We're going to press A for all, and then we're going to select UV and UV unwrap. Now with concrete, because it has a kind of repeat pattern, it can look good straight away, whereas wood sometimes we'll have to move it around to make sure that the grain is correct. Now because this is concrete, we may also want to try and up some of the details. We might want to increase the roughness, just so that when the light hits it, it's a little bit more duller and a little bit more rough, just like concrete would be. So you can change any of the material properties just like you would when applying plastic, so that it can look rough and it looks like concrete. And again, I can do the same for the base. So cancel the material that's on it currently, press new, press the yellow dot beside base colour, press image texture, open, find the image that you have saved of your concrete, and you can see here that unlike the top, the concrete isn't looking very realistic. You can see that the image has been copied over and over and it's given a kind of striped effect. So we're going to change that by doing our UV unwrap. So Tab A, UV unwrap, and you can see already that it's looking much better. It's looking less stripy and it's looking more realistic. And again, you can increase and decrease the values depending on how you want it to look in material properties. To add the wood to the stem of the lamp, we're going to do the same as what we have done with concrete, but we're going to select a different image. So we're going to cancel off the material that is on it currently. We're going to press new. We're going to press the yellow dot beside base colour and go to image texture. We're going to press open and we're going to select the wood texture that we have saved before. We're then going to press Tab, A for select all, and then UV unwrap, and then press Tab again. Now whilst this has unwrapped it and it looks less stripy, the actual wood grain doesn't look very realistic. Instead, the wood grain would most likely go up and down. So to fix that, we're going to again press Tab and make sure that it's all selected. But instead of going to UV this time, we're going to go up to UV editing. And you can see here that it has split my screen into two, and I've got my image texture on one side and my model on the other side. Now, to help you, what I would do is I would put my mouse in the middle and I would drag this all the way along until we can select the last bubble, just so that we can see the colour, and that's going to make it a little bit easier for us. And then once I've done that, I'm going to bring it back across. Now, we're going to focus on the image texture screen, so this screen here. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to select the UV mode of island mode, so this mode here. And that just means that when we select a part, it will move all together rather than just moving one of the vertices. Now, each part of this is a part of our model. So if I grab this one, for example, and press G for grab and move it along, you can see that the back of the stem moves with it. So I'm just going to zoom in to make it easier to see. So if I press G and move it, you can see that the grain is moving with it. So what we want to do is spend some time rotating, so R for rotate, just like what we did before, rotating and grabbing and moving each part of this so that we can get it to look a little bit nicer. So grab a part, move it along, and if you can't see it, it might be the underside of a part. So for example, it might be the very bottom of the stem, so we don't need to worry about that because we can't see it. This one, I can see that it's this part moving. So again, I can rotate it and I can get the grain to kind of match up with this part here. And again, grab the next part, move it around, that's that top bit. So again, I'm going to rotate it by pressing R, and I'm going to line it up so that the grain kind of lines up with the top. And the more time you spend on this, the kind of more realistic you can make it, making sure that the grain of the wood all links up with what you have done previously. So grab it and again line it up with the grain. And once you're happy with it, once all the grain has been kind of rotated correctly, what you can do is you'll just select layout at the top, and that will bring you back to this view. Sometimes by just adding the texture, it will look great straight away. Other times you might have to use UV editing to rotate and scale your materials up and down so that you can make it look a little bit more realistic. And you can do the same with any image of materials. So if you have like a brick wall or a wooden desk, using image texture will apply the material to your model and make it look more and more realistic.